Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to discuss an important topic in Islamic eschatology, namely Dabaa, the beast. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Holy Quran, and when the word falls upon them, we will bring out the earth a beast that will speak to them. The people were not convinced of the truth of our signs. Surah 27 An-Naml, the ants, verse 82. The beast is also mentioned in the hadiths. It has given rise to a flowering and variety of commentaries. For some, it is a description of the end of the world. For more, it is one of the signs announcing the end of time. For others, it is a simple metaphor for the nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction buried in the ground that man will bring out to wage war against each other. Some say that it is a man with extraordinary power to eliminate non-believers. Others, on the contrary, believe that it is a monster, a dragon, terrifying and hungry, which will devour all the men still alive on earth at the time of its appearance. But before discussing about the beast, let's go back to the events preceding his appearance, namely, the end of time and the beginning of the apocalypse. It is announced by many hadiths. It will be characterized by the appearance of minor and major signs. The period of minor signs coincides with a generalization of intellectual dishonesty, the voluntary dissimulation of the truth, ignorance, violence, corruption, injustice, jealousy, wickedness, a crisis of values, depravity of morals, immoral conduct, especially sexual. The last minor sign is the legalization of homosexual marriages, announcing the appearance of the major signs. The first major sign of the end of time is the appearance of Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, announced by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself and by the great helper Paul. He is not only announced, but also expected by all religions. He is from my lineage, infallible. He is the holder of knowledge and power. He has the attention of the Lord. All these means will make him the ruler of the world, as taught by the Prophet, in accordance with the will of Allah, the principles of the Islamic religion. He will put an end to the diabolic economic, military, and political domination that governs the world today. He will reestablish justice, both economically and politically, as well as socially. This is how the exploited and dominated countries will experience the recovery of their economies and the improvement of the living conditions of their populations. This new world order of justice in the production and distribution of wealth will lead to the adversity of a character whose appearance will be the second major sign of the end of time. Dajjal, the false messiah, the impostor, will first pretend to be the Prophet Isa ibn Maryam and then God. With excessive pride and immense evil powers, he will decide to lead a war of reconquest of power and domination against Imam al-Mahdi, a war he will lose. The third and last major sign of the end of time will be the appearance of a third character, who is the Prophet Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam. He will come down to earth to complete his mission alongside Imam al-Mahdi, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us. There is among my descendants a person behind whom Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam will pray. Imam al-Mahdi and Prophet Isa ibn Maryam will carry out their missions, which are intrinsically linked in perfect understanding. It is moreover with the scepter of Imam al-Mahdi that the Prophet Isa will exterminate Dajjal. The apocalypse will begin 2 years after Imam al-Mahdi leaves this world, and more precisely, the day after the death and burial of Prophet Isa ibn Maryam alayhi salam in Mecca. It is this precise date of the day after the death of Prophet Isa that will mark the beginning of the apocalypse. The apocalypse will last 17 years. During this period, the world will be left without any religious authority and without religious or spiritual guidance. Imam al-Mahdi and the Prophet Isa will have left it in turn. The first day of the apocalypse will begin with a remarkable event. The sun, which has always risen in the east, will rise in the west on that day. This is the first sign of the beginning of the apocalypse. The second will take place a few hours later, shortly before noon. It is at this precise moment that the beast will come out of the depths of the earth, destroying the foundations of 4 bordering countries. The beast has the appearance of a frightening black dragon, with multiple fingers and eyes like powerful light sources. Similar to pearls, they seem to project light or flames. The beast Dabaa is endowed with discernment and speaks the human language. It is thus able to distinguish the believer from the non-believer. Indeed, when it comes across a believer, it declares to him, "Prepare yourself, because it is the end of the world." As for the disbeliever, the beast will pierce his chest with its powerful claws. At the sight of it, all the people flee to safety, including the believers, in a generalized panic. It will destroy everything in its path, men and houses. The beast Dabaa has been alive for billions and billions of years. In reality, it is a snake that surrounds the mountain Jabal Qaf, the rock on which the 7 lands are leaning. This mountain, called Qaf, is mentioned in the first verse of Surah 50 of the Holy Quran. Qaf, by the glorious Quran. The beast is therefore the snake which shelters within it. The viruses and bacteria at the origin of epidemics and other pandemics. These are entire colonies in hibernation, which he expels on divine order by mouth, as well towards the world of humans and jinns as that of animals. This was the case for the COVID-19 virus, and just like during the last viral disease, which has strongly hit the world of jinns in 1987. Once their mission is complete, these viruses and other pathogens are swallowed within the beast at the command of the Lord. The apocalypse will be for the beast Dabaa, the opportunity to appear for the first time on earth. To do this, it will change its current form of snake to that of a reptile-eyed dragon. Certain saints or chosen ones of God know of the existence of this beast. They have the power to see him on their visits from the far reaches of the 7th earth. But it is only visible at a certain time on Friday. Once its mission is over, the beast will return underground to its original location, the mountain Jabal Qaf. When the beast comes out, in the first hours of the apocalypse, all the elements of nature will be left to themselves, disordered and unleashed, without anyone being able to remedy it. Imam al-Mahdi, the Prophet Isa ibn Maryam, nor any other man of God will no longer be of this world. Fruits will become sour, mangoes, apples, and other fruits will grow thorns. This apocalypse will last for 17 years, during which time nature will be unleashed with an uninterrupted flow of violent and nosy winds, sandstorms, making breathing and seeing extremely difficult, even impossible, to the point of making the eyes bloody, incessant earthquakes, untimely succession of thunders, and endless lightning. In other words, during a day that will last 17 years, life on earth will become hellish until the appearance of Ya'juj and Ma'juj. These 2 creatures will put an end to all living species on the planet and mark the end of the earth's existence. This revelation is from the teachings of our honorable guide, Khutbul Akhtab al-Kabir, Mawlaya Sidi Muhammad Al-Shah. Thank you for your attention and see you soon in your channel, Mahdi's Teachings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.